no business alternative sources of revenue. There is so much gold mine in his backyard. At any rate, I have a story to tell. Martina Ebenet in Yobe State may not sound too familiar to the larger nation. Of the habits of culture and tourism development may still have a glimmer of what this ancient kingdom has been and still is in the field of cultural development. At various times during Abuja Cultural Carnival, it came first in Daba. In fact, there were periods when the federal government was directly funding this emirate for its excellence generally and for the promotion of Daba as cultural identity of Nigeria. Historically, Martina Emirate is known all over the north as home of crack horsemen and spearmen. With the natural progression of time, Martina's reputation is still untouched.
Right from ancient years, the empire building war, heroism, the Martina warriors were very skillful horsemen. They were well known and were well acclaimed as brave cavalry heroes.
Aware of his prowess, combined with the breathtaking elements of historical and cultural significance, Martina Emirate made it a duty to every year stage a cultural festival to showcase what endowment they have in culture and tourism, and how easily governments and private sector can cash on this rare event to elevate their business and their people.
The rich cultural festival have been part of what made the great ancient Kenim Borno Empire under the Sefawa dynasty, to which Martina belongs, a very famous and powerful since centuries past.
Martina is an ancient kingdom dating back to 198 AD, when their first ruler in recorded history, May Aliu Bago, ruled. Today it is a modest township with economic, historical and cultural significance. The route to Martina from Kano was quite a picture. River Hadeja embellishes a significant section of the distance. Water points are everywhere. They attract giants. In Nigeria, many people may think that pastoral life in Nigeria belongs to keepers of cattle, sheep and goats only. The route to Martina is a rich picture of pastoralists tending camel. It is a sublime sighting. The township Martina is no less picturesque. All around it and its local communities, you are faced with a public transport system that is different, simple and effective. Other parts of northern Nigeria know nothing like it. There is this market day scenario too. A picture where vehicles are loaded to the high heavens to make the journey back home through the desert and at dusk. Machina is a close-door neighbor to several communities in Niger Republic. Centuries of close contact allow for watertight mutual relationships. They are together always in their markets and in their marriages. They have deep affinity in their history too. In reality, Machina used to have affinity with the people beyond its northern neighbors.
The Kenim-Borno Empire encompasses a very large area size, starting from most parts of northern Nigeria, extending to Lake Chad area, some parts of Cameroon, and some parts of Niger down to Air, boundary of Libya.
The reality of Machina Annual Cultural Festival is a masterclass. It is 5 days of lavish cultural fiesta, the likes of which is scarcely seen. Beyond the execution of the festival, there is a vocal storyline to it, the promotion of ordinary people, the elevation of their values. The Machinama may be the chief protagonist of the carnival, but the greatness of his kingdom and his people is at the heart of his objectives. A key feature of the Machina Annual Festival is horse racing. It featured for 2 successive days, and believe me, it is no child's play, although children are its driving force.
Mashallah, aboki aiki na bismillah kakalla. To lamba biyar kasinan shido ke gaba sai lamba biyu.
Horse racing, once popular all over the north, is a dying business now. Machina is keeping it alive. All racetracks are resurfaced. Younger children are meant to run the races and to take care of the horses. Public interest is regenerated, and the horses are back on the race courses. I wanted to really do a piece to camera to introduce a particular heat. The horses took off ahead of me and I lost my lines. I did not miss the spirited race though. There is a talking point on this one. One of the horses lost his young rider, but it continues with the race nonetheless, riderless. It was racing so spiritedly it could have come first, but for the efforts of the 2 other riders. That horse emerged third. It received no accolades though for deserting its rider. Between races, the Persian interlude sufficed. They were displaced from one of the legendary horse racers of all in Machina. Royalty are reputed to be the major supporters of horse racing in Nigeria. There are not less than 20 emirs from across Nigeria for the Machina race. They in particular want support from the federal government to bring back horse racing in Nigeria to its former glory. The key start to the horse racing event of Machina Cultural Festival is the reality of young boys, very young if you ask me, handling stallions with expert hands and fearlessly. It is a master stroke. One day, 2 of the racing tour was over. I marvel at the journey back home. Tomorrow it will be Daba, and the Yobe State Governor will be there. Wait a minute though. The day of Daba was the grand finale of the Machina Cultural Festival. The night before it, however, was beautifully engaging. True to the objectives of this festival, grassroots sports were a dominant feature of it. Youth were at the center of it all. The night brings to light Langa.
a hankali dai ta ci ba su rito yawa ta yawa kowa kama da kai a barawo yau kowa kama da tawari yawa.
Langa is a handicap sport. Langa is basically a sport where you use only one leg. It is a very popular nighttime sport in many parts of the north. At the grassroots level, it is more identified with the teenagers. At the competitive level, as in Machina, adults participate too. In this cultural festival, two groups compete. One group defends, the other attack. The attacking group will work at getting their baseman toward the end line of their opponent. He is here identified with a tie to his waist. It is the duty of the defenders to prevent him from reaching their goal. All struggles are on one leg. The night langa is a knockout challenge. The final is on the day of Daba. Perhaps the most entertaining grassroots sport at the Machina Cultural Festival is the wrestling contest. It is a high voltage contest. It begins ahead of the day of Dabatu. Over 50 participants drawn from the entire emirate were competing. It was a knockout match. On the day of the Dava, only 4 contestants will remain to decide the third, second, and the champion, who will ultimately be crowned the Seriki of Machina Emerald Cultural Festival. I've almost preempted the Grand Machina Daba. It is a spectacle. Generally, Daba Festival is identified with the North. Machina is the epitome of excellence in its execution.
Bayan su a halin yanzu kuna ganin dawakai guda 12 dawakan shida ne dawakan zage guda 6 ga su an shirya komai da komai wato a takaice dai tafiya ne na mai martaba sarki. To a halin yanzu ga mai martaba sarki ya riga ya doso wannan waje a halin yanzu zan miƙa mu magana ga doko ya kawo takaitaccen tarihi na sarkin Machina.
Yes, on the day of the Daba in Machina, the outgoing governor of Yobe State was there. So was his successor. They were witnesses to the exciting sportsmanship of the festival. There was a point in the conduct of the Daba when the Emir of Machina, His Royal Highness Alhaji Bashir Al-Bashir Bukar, dismounted, and all chieftains came forward in their mount to pay homage to all the guests around. Another beautiful side of the day of the Durbar was the finals of the wrestling competition, when a new wrestling king will emerge and will collect his sword of authority. It was a cracker. First, the match decided the third place. Then, of course, the decider. Eventually, Yahaya Goga emerges overall winner of the wrestling competition. What a proud man he was. He was not only turbaned as the new Sarkin Kokawa of Machina Emirate. The governor of Yobe State personally handed him his sword of authority. It is a masterstroke that Machina Cultural Festival allow ordinary people come close to the authority, who were in attendance to appreciate the arts of the ordinary people. Yahya, the new Machina Wrestling King, was happy on so many fronts. Being champion is one. Being the first outside Machina Township to win the annual wrestling festival is another. On the day, Lanka finals was decided too. Apart from the usual cultural displays and sports, an award of appreciation in form of traditional title of Machina Emirate was conferred on the outgoing governor of Yobe State, Alhaji Ibrahim Gaidau, by the Emir of Machina, Alhaji Bashir Al-Bashir Bukar.
His Excellency Governor Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Gaidam has been able to solve many of the problems of Machina, in particular those of water and road construction.
There were important highlights that really stands Machina Emirate out in Nigeria beyond its cultural festival. Do you know that snakes are considered brothers and sacred in Machina? Nobody killed them and nobody harmed them because they are assumed to be twin brothers of a certain member of Machina Royal House.
In the history of our forefathers, not my father, my grandfather, but in the lineage, in the lineage, we were told that in this palace, a woman gave birth to a snake and a human being. The snake could not stay with human beings, and it just crawled into the rocks. Since the palace, just behind the palace is a rock. But anytime we are doing celebrations, they do come out. Anytime we have some sad things, they come and sympathize with us. So we definitely don't kill snake. We consider them as our blood relation.
In yet another turn, There were periods when people of Machina Emirate were hill dwellers. This is Karbe Kanwa, from where the Machina people descended to their present settlement. A special feature of it is the Merukura, that is the big palace. It is still there under the rock. Another picture of it is Kauganga, or stone drum. With it, Machina people of old amused themselves. There is not much information, however, on from what period to what period Machina people settled on this hill, and when they descended to their present location and why. The good news, however, is the result of the Emir Bashir al-Bashir Bukar to commission excavation of the area by archaeologists and anthropologists.
We have been getting oral traditions that our forefathers lived on those around those areas. So if we can dig some more, we may get the materials that they use and the rest, the palace and even the maybe architecture of the palace and the rest. So I want to restrict that particular area so that it will be a tourist center. When we come to festival, we take our dignitaries to know our location.